That is epic. The music.
Sister, the dreamers come for us.
Tenno, no. After everything you've endured to escape, why did you come back?
For you.
I came back for you.
Stupid child, you don't give up, do you? But coming here in the flesh, that was a big mistake.
Damn this.
Gods, kill this warframe and bring me my new skin.
Hold up. Welcome to the real Warframe. The frames are weak to exactly. Okay, so first of all, we were basically, if I get this right, we were not dreaming, but we were basically in, I guess, the astral plane, the void, whatever it is, learning about our past. Like it's the war within, right? That's the quest's name. So we were basically fighting ourselves to find back to who we truly are. As I said at the beginning, it was some kind of shadow work, right? Work through the trauma and the pain from the past. That will unlock your superpowers. That's also true in real life, by the way. So that was a great metaphor for real life there. It was all in your mind. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I really had trust issues in this quest thing. Mountain does exist. Yeah, of course. Like the area is of course correct, but you were basically portraying your own problems into this area, which happens a lot, right? Because if you know yourself, if you conjure emotions from, not emotions, conjure memories from the past, they actually aren't as you have them in your mind. Let's, for example, say you had a great encounter with a girl in the past, and that you still have this in your mind. Your mind usually makes it 5 to 10 times better than it actually was. Or if it was something bad, also 5 to 10 times worse than it actually was, because you're filtering the memories through the emotions you currently feel. Right? They basically have to go through this filter. So if you do shadow work, by the way, if you don't know what it is, basically shadow work means you go into the war within, right? Solve the deepest traumas and problems you have within yourself and the darkest side of yourself, accepting the darkest side of yourself, and through that you will become whole, align with your soul basically. And once you are whole, or wholer, more whole, I don't know. You unlock specific powers. That's also true in real life, right? And powers could just be healing. People have had this a lot when they actually solve trauma from the past. Their body healed in certain areas, like chronic pains went away. Or also manifestation abilities. All these kind of things. Happens a lot. So it's great. Do you think is a dream? Did he say that? I like to think you did transfer there while also being trapped. That could also be the case, obviously. I mean, she could have potentially projected her mind into this while she was in connection with the Warframe-ish. I don't know. I love how Teshin went from sus, trust, sus, betrayer, sus, real bro. Yeah, I mean, the second he actually taught us the our skills, I was like, maybe he's not the bad guy. But he's basically just locked into what he's able to do due to the Orokin forcing his hand. I was always scared by the dark until I realized I am the dark. Exactly. That's kind of the idea, right? Yeah, facing your fears is another one. This is a very deep topic. We could talk about this for hours. I have a bunch of books from Carl Jung about this as well. I'm not going to go too deep into shadow work, but it's basically, if you know to what, well, what's it Carl Jung? Yeah, he said, a tree can only reach to heaven if his roots go down to hell. That's a great quote. I love this. I always love this. It's basically saying you can only do good if you know to how much evil you are capable of, right? And any human has the complete range of very good to very bad, if you want, good to evil. But you can really only do good if you know how evil you can be. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Back in this, he brought a crazy example. There was a woman, a mother, and she dunked her 1-year-old baby's hands in boiling hot water while she was cooking, right? And then people was like, how could a mother do this, right? How could this even happen? And then John Peterson, I think it was, he said, well, I mean, if you think about it, she was a single mother, right? She was deeply in debt. She was lots of bills coming on, and probably a lot of stress in her job, maybe with the family. You don't know, right? And she believed she could never do something bad about herself, right? And then the baby screamed in the exactly wrong moment, and she snapped. It was basically like overflow, and then she did that. So basically, she completely lost control over her critical thinking and her actual ability, and just went fully into impulsive mode and did this, right? And he said, if she knew that she is totally able to really hurt her child before that, mentally, she would not have done that, because then she would have realized, shit, I'm actually going crazy in this moment. It's too much is happening. I should actually pull myself back a second and do something else. I notice myself, like I'm a father, right? So I noticed sometimes very much, especially in the beginning, when he was very little and he was pissing me off big time, because that's just how children are in that age. I noticed myself, right, I gotta actually take a step back, because I know to what bad things I'm capable of. Otherwise, I'll do something I will regret at some point. And this is what they mean with shadow work. If you know to what bad things you are capable of and bad things you have done in the past, only then can you actually avoid that. Because then it is a choice, and you're not just giving into your impulsive mode and just do things. You actually know, okay, shit, this is actually about to happen. I need to step back here. And so this is what actually makes you a good person in the end. Interesting that as Teshin talks down, Margulis is suppressing our memory as manipulations. It has been a muted image. Does she suppress them? Oh, yes, she did, right? But why? I mean, admittedly, right, if you are a certain age and you have these powers that we now have, it needs a proper mind to be able to wield them properly, right? Basically, it comes down to Shadowwork again. With this was Marvel then, right, with Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. So if you have these powers that we have here at 16 years of age, you might misuse them. So maybe that was also one of her ideas. I don't know. It's like giving machine guns to children, right? It's not gonna go out well. It's scary what humans can do without thinking properly. Absolutely. Yeah, it's like the human emotions are really, really, really powerful. It's actually truly insane how powerful they are. But with something that powerful, it obviously also means it can be misused, or it can go in the wrong direction. The Lotus told you after second dream you lost control and blinded Margulis. Oh, I missed that then. There is probably so much I missed, which stops me from connecting the dots here. Probably. But yeah, humans are very, very powerful creatures. And we haven't even... Actually, we had those, where these were taken away from us, our telepathic abilities. Because we misused them. But yeah. That's amazing, though. I like this a lot already. Great quest. Also very epic and cinematic. And Teshin is actually our bro, huh? He actually is. Well, we doubted him. Wrongly, I guess. Alright, now we see if we can do this with our underleveled self. So in second dream, we know we apparently attacked and lashed out at everything, blinding Margulis herself. I think putting us in that dreamful state was the right choice. Now Teshin could probably lead us through the trauma. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. So she basically, we had these powers, but we misused them. Because we lashed out. Maybe it was just like puberty, right? Growing pains. But he did lead us through the trauma. That is actually just what shadow work is, right? Which I would highly recommend doing. I spent years doing that. But I came out a completely new person after that. That's just the anchor we need, yeah. That's true.